randomly from the algorithm clicked on this, but regardless, hello.
Let's begin, shall we?
Hello there. Welcome in. How is everyone's day going? Oh, it's August 20th. It's a Thursday. We're starting stream. Major! How is your day going? Do you have all the new sprites yet? It is almost. That is not something I want to think about. You just logged in for the first time? Okay. Yeah, I loaded it up on my phone and did some AFK farming. I had to enter in a bunch of codes. Yeah, I found a list on Reddit with all the codes. I figured you would have one too, but I can share mine with you, obviously, if you want it. But yeah, it's weird they have all the like codes in the lobby screen for different stuff. But maybe I'll have some free time this weekend and we can play some. But for now, we got movie puzzle. 10 minutes on the clock. 3, 2, 1, let's go. Alright, Star Wars 1977. Mark Hamill. Not Luke Hamill. Because his name's Mark. And we would not make that mistake. The Hateful Eight. Let's see. That was what? Samuel L. Jackson. Oh, geez. Who else was in that? Spoiler character. Bruce Dern was in it. Dang. Was Kurt Russell in that? Yeah, I believe Kurt Russell was in that one. Did I already say that? I don't know. I don't remember. Okay, he was. Yeah, but none of those fit this number of letters, though, so might have to come back to that one. We got an Oscar winner from 2004 with a 3-letter first name. That was probably before I was watching the Academy Awards closely. Also, Naughty Dog, hi, hello, welcome in. Hope you're having a great day. Oscar winner in 1978. And then we have Thor the Dark World. Based on the letters. Hey! Fits like a glove. Natalie Portman. Alright, so we got a first name that starts with K, is 5 letters, and ends with E. So it is not Karen, which was my original inclination, thought, idea, whatever. Rise of the Planet of the Apes, which is the second one. So that would be... did I even see that one? I don't remember. Hated all the new Planet of the Apes films. Fair. Blade Runner 1982 because it has 3 names. You know, it's Edward, James, Olmos. Dirty Dancing. It's got to be Patrick Swayze, right? Watchmen 2009, we got a triple name again, so it's probably going to be Jackie Earle Haley? Or Jeffrey Dean Morgan? No, Jackie Earle Haley. Then Total Recall, it'd be Sharon Stone. feel like this should be... Oh, Kathy Bates. So is it... It could be, because Natalie Portman could be someone else. Like, it could be Anthony Hopkins. Yeah, I think that's what it is. G. So Rise of the Planet of the Apes, Brian Cox. Freaking Walton Goggins again. Goggins killing us. Tim Robbins, Oscar winner 2004. So I think that was for Mystic River. And then Richard Dreyfuss for Academy Award 1978. So that would have been a 1977 movie. So that would have been Close Encounters? Because Jaws was 76. But we were able to get it. So, GG team. We still got our success rate above 90, so we're doing alright. Tim Robinson, Sean Penn, one for Mr. Career. Okay, yeah. Moving on to Movie Guesser, our second movie puzzle. Naughty Dog's here, so I'm guessing you want to go with quote, unless Major wants to go with another category, if she's not busy bullying 12-year-olds in Fortnite. I do like going with quote. Alright. Get your forking tentacle out of my face. Oh, you're loading in now? I believe in you, Major. Show no mercy to those 12-year-olds, because they should be in bed because school is back and it's a school night. Is this a Guardians of the Galaxy?
I like this one.
Hi, hello, welcome in. The enhanced one? Thank you for the follow. Welcome in. Hope you're having a great day. The actor is Cheryl Copley. It's just, yeah. Yeah, I was thinking if we go director, because if it was James Gunn, then it'd be a Guardians of the Galaxy, but if it's, what's his name, then yeah, it's probably District 9. Neil Blomkamp, yeah. You got it. Man. Yeah, District 9 was so good, like, I was so high on Neil Blomkamp, and then, like, he really has not done much since then. Yeah, we tend to finish this one fairly quickly. Naughty Dog is good with movie quotes. Movie quotes is one of my super autistic things. You said it, not me. Yeah, I'm good with, like, general movie stuff. Have you ever done connections for movie quotes? No, is that a online game? Or is that something else? If you tried to post a link to it, I'll search for it. Is it just movie quotes connections? Oh, game. Okay. Oh, so it's like connections. It's on Box Office Pick'em. Box Office Pick'em. Oh. So there's 7 quick challenges, one after another. Ooh. This could get interesting. Alright, we can try this out. I guess we just hit play. Alright. A real 5-letter baby name? Is that what? Okay, why is it? I don't know. I don't know what we're doing. Did I go to the wrong site? Yeah, this seems to be like much more names. Okay, that's a different site. This and just go daily. But it's taking us to names. Browse. Yeah, this is weird. Hardest games, celebrities. Oh wait, I know. Go to the footer at the bottom. Okay. Click part of box. Huh? Enter card, credit card. Yeah, I clicked on daily and it took us to the name game again. Go back. It said part of box office pick'em. Oh, okay. Then daily games. Okay. Now we're on the right site. Should save this so we don't have to struggle through that. 4 scattered words secretly belong together. Select all 4, lock in. Each group is a real 4-word movie quote scrambled together with 3 others. Select 4 titles and hit submit. Tiles. Categories range from easy to tricky, color-coded, once solved. You have 4 mistakes before the puzzle solves and reveals everything. Oh, wow. So, Goonies, Never Say Die is going to be one. I feel like that's the, yeah, that was the easy one. There's no crying in baseball. No, not the. No crying in baseball. So one ends with night, the other ends with brother. Is it just like Children of the Night? And then Major said, "You Were My Brother" is the other one. From Godfather 2. Oh, no, it was from Star Wars. I was thinking of... No, Vito says something... Or not Vito. Michael says something else to Fredo on the boat, not "You Were My Brother." Oh, there's another game. How to play. 5 real already released movies. Rank them from S, biggest hit of the 5 through D, biggest underperformer. Profit use the same formula, gross minus 2x budget. Oh, so this is... That, yeah, I knew it was you. So of these, I feel like Titanic... I feel like Titanic would be the highest. Feel like Jurassic Park is kind of the ringer in there. Feel like it's that. Avatar was 1. Titanic was 2, Jurassic Park was 3. Okay. Yeah, I knew Inception was the lowest. Name game? No, we don't want to do the name game. Alright, so we just have... We did the 2 movie ones. Sorry, I'll fix that. The site's still under construction. No worries. That was... I like the movie quote one, so we might play that again. But, yeah, the quote one was good. Yeah, I like finding new, interesting games to kind of get us warmed up before we get into our writing, especially when we hit our other, or we run through our other games pretty quickly, so. Alright, so now we are going to get into the writing / editing of portion of the stream. Yeah, let's go with that. So we are in scene 145. We're on page 90, so we are actually getting kind of close to the end, maybe. So where we are at... Oh, I should probably... So that gives you kind of an overview of our story that we're working on. We're writing through our screenplay, and we're in our first kind of significant edit of it. And Naughty Dog, you'll be happy. I did make a title command. Second draft out of what? Yeah, I started thinking about that. I'm not sure how many drafts we're going to get to. Because we might get through this, and then I have some notes that I want to fill in. And then, I don't know, I'll see kind of where I'm at with it. Because I was thinking about it a lot today while I was going on my walks in between other stuff at the office. And, like, I think there are some scenes and elements that I really like, but there are some things that I think like aren't quite working, and I think the issue might be the structure of it. So I've been trying to think of like what other ways I could structure the story that would fix that issue, but I haven't really landed on anything yet. So for right now, I don't know. we'll see what happens. We might get to the end, do some of our other edits, and then just kind of focus on our Captain Marvel story for a while, and then maybe come back to this if I get a good idea of how I want to adjust it. But yeah, we're just kind of running it for now, trying to edit it, get it to a decent place, and then we'll go from there. All right. So in our current sequence, basically where we're at is we have Bryn and Hélène who met up. Bryn is an old friend of our other main character, Margaret, and Hélène is, I guess, the woman Margaret's in love with. But they were separated over time. Nice, and sell it for 7 figures. I wish. Yeah. But basically, Bryn invites Hélène to meet with her. Bryn gives her a choice. I can tell you where Margaret is, and you all can run away together, or I can help you find the hunters who are kind of like the big bads of our story. And of course, because we're not at the end yet, Hélène has to make the wrong choice, and so Hélène and Bryn are going to the secret hideout of the hunters, but it is secretly a trap. Cue the Admiral Akbar quote. It's a trap. I am losing it. Yeah, so that's where we're at. They are currently in a military complex, and they are going to an elevator. They're going to take the elevator down to kind of the secret lair of the hunters. So, ding, the elevator arrives, the door open, interior elevator, military building, continuous. Okay, so we currently have Bryn steps to the back of the cart, Hélène moves to her side, the colonel enters. I think we just say Bryn and Hélène move to the back of the cart. Bryn and Hélène move to the back of the cart. The colonel enters. Yeah, that works. It's just not it. I don't know. Okay, Bryn and Hélène move to the back of the cart. The colonel enters. Colonel, what floor are you ladies going to? Bryn, same as you, Colonel. The door's closed. The colonel turns to Bryn. Helene's eyes widen. Expectant, Bryn places her hand on the colonel's cheek. His eyes go blank. He buckles to the ground. His eyes go blank. He buckles to the ground. feel like... The doors close. Apprehensive, the Colonel turns to Bryn. Helene's eyes widen. Expectant, Bryn places her hand on the Colonel's cheek. We'll say face. His eyes go blank. Why is Bryn expectant? She was expecting the Colonel... She was expecting her response to make the Colonel apprehensive of her. Because she's a seer, so she knows what's going to happen, so kind of everything from her is more or less expected. Unfazed, Bryn places her hands on the Colonel's face. Yeah. His eyes go blank. Okay, that's what's throwing me off. Expectant, Bryn places her hand on the Colonel's face. Buckling to the ground, his eyes go blank. Helene. What was that? Bryn kneels, searching the Colonel's pockets. Yeah. Kneeling, Bryn searches. Kneeling, Bryn searches the Colonel's pockets. Yes, I forgot the L. Thank you. Kneeling, Bryn searches the Colonel's pockets. Bryn. He'll be fine. Probably. I just had him relive boot camp. All of it, in a second. In an instant. I just want to say instant instead of second, so it's not as defined of a time frame, if that makes sense. Bryn rifles through. Yeah. Kneeling, Bryn rifles through the Colonel's pockets. He'll be fine. Probably. I just had him relive boot camp. All of it. In an instant. Bryn stands, keys in hand. She slides the key into the control panel and punches code. So, standing, keys in hand, Bryn slides. Yeah, I just think we say standing. Standing, Bryn slides a key into the control panel, punches in a code. Alright, he'll be fine, probably. I just had him relive all of boot camp. I had him relive boot camp. All of it. In an instant. Standing, Bryn slides a key into the control panel, punches in a code. Bryn. And I was able to find a security code. The elevator lurches, then descends to... Yeah, I think that works. More or less. Interior corridor, underground base, moments later. Doors of the elevator open. Bryn exits, Hélène follows. Making their way along a tunnel, thick concrete. I guess we can just say concrete tunnel. The doors of the elevator open. Bryn exits, Hélène follows, making their way along a concrete tunnel. Along or down? Making their way along a concrete tunnel or making their way down a concrete tunnel? Bryn exits, Hélène follows, down a concrete tunnel. Bryn exits, Hélène follows her down a concrete tunnel. I think I could make an argument that you don't need moments later in that slug line. We know it's happening linearly. And you don't need time of day for underground.
I like this one.
Hi, hello, welcome in. Thank you for the follow. Landvander? Hope you're having a great day. Yeah, I don't know. I know we don't necessarily need time of day for underground, but I feel like it's just clarifying to say moments later. We also haven't been putting in our years. Oops. Missed a lot of them. Bad fitty. Okay, so we're back to the scene we're on. 146, interior corridor, underground base, moments later. Doors of the elevator open. Bryn exits, Hélène follows her down a concrete tunnel. Bryn. The hunters took over a decommissioned missile silo. Site is secure. They can do their work in peace. Site is secure. So they can do their work in peace. Hunters took over a decommissioned missile silo. Site is secure, so they can do their work without interference. Yeah, in secret would work too. I like the idea of without interference because like they're there to interfere with the work. Like that's Helene's purpose. So yeah, I just feel like that works a little bit better to me. Do their work unhindered. Yeah, same kind of thing. Helene. And the government just lets them? Site is secured by the government. Site is secure. And the government just lets them? Who do you think is paying for all of this? Hearing distant voices. Should be capitalized. Bryn slows. Places her finger across her lips. Hearing distant voices, Bryn slows, places her finger across her lips. Bryn whispers, "You wanted the hunters? They're all there." Hmm. You wanted the hunters? There they are. Resolved, Helene moves ahead. Bryn follows. To... Interior platform, underground base, continuous. All the stuff, all the things. Helene sneaks into a narrow alcove overlooking the cavernous space filled with hunters. A massive machine under construction at the center, surrounded by cages with captured witches. Got an extra eye in there. Weird. Yeah, this is probably too long. Okay, so after we finish this, we just go directly to Margaret. Helene sneaks into a narrow alcove overlooking. Okay, I think we can cut out like half the words in this thing. We're looking. Massive machine. So I want a different word instead of surrounding. I guess we just say hunters constructing CONSTRUCTIN constructing a massive machine surrounded Helene sneaks into an alcove overlooking hunters constructing a massive machine. Cages. Captured witches. Surrounded by cages. Mill about, do work, or yeah. Surrounded by cages. Filled with captured witches. Filled with capture. Well, yeah, we don't need captured. Helene sneaks into an alcove overlooking hunters constructing a massive machine surrounded by cages filled with witches. Stealing, Helene plans her attack. No. Taking that out. Meep. Helene, what are they building? Bryn. Sorry, it had to be this way. Bewildered, Helene glances to Bryn. Thunk. Metal doors plunge. Imprisoning Helene. Good idea. Plans her attack is unfilmable unless you show action of her doing something. Yeah. And I feel like in that moment, she would be kind of taken aback by seeing this whole thing and like just have lots of questions. So her saying a question is kind of representative of kind of how I feel she would be in that moment. And then it just gets undercut by Bryn. Bewildered, Helene glances to Bryn. Thunk. Metal doors plunge, imprisoning Helene. Enraged, Helene steps to the door. Enraged, Helene nears the door. Now need begins, moving her hand in a practice motion. Yeah, faltering, she finds Runes. Carved into the metal. How about stamped into the metal? Or machined into the metal, carved into it? Yeah. I like stamped. Hélène glares at Bryn. They won't hold me forever. When I get free, they won't hold me forever. When I'm free, there's nowhere you will be able to hide from me. Bryn, this was the only way. Uneasy, Bryn looks off. I feel like this is the only way. Bryn, this is the only way. Sorry, I have something in my eye that I can't get out. Underline one of those nowhere. Okay. We can do that. Yeah, I figure it would be clear to an actor that having that twice, like to put a little bit more on that second one, but yeah, underlining it, I feel like makes that explicit instead of implicit. I guess we don't have to say specifically Arizona, but we know it is there. Nothing wrong with some emphasis if it's important to the scene. Yeah. I think I've told the story about how I always tell people when they're doing like graphic stuff, like if you try to bold everything on a web page or on a flyer or whatever, like nothing's bold because like nothing stands out. That's why you want something to be bold, because you want it to stand out. So using it sparingly every once in a while to emphasize something, we're fine with that. But yeah, if we bold and underline and capitalize everything, then nothing is bold, italic, or underline, whatever I said. Yeah. Capitalize. That thing. Alright, exterior, Margaret's Ranch, Orange Grove, day. Margaret emerges from a row. Margaret emerges from a row of orange trees carrying a filled basket. Margaret emerges from a row of trees carrying a basket filled with oranges. Orange trees carrying a filled basket. Margaret emerges from a row of orange trees carrying a filled basket. From a car parked in the unpaved driveway, Seraphina approaches. Letitia wanders, circling. I feel like just Letitia circles. Or Letitia wanders. Recognizing Seraphina, Margaret slows. Margaret. Hello? Seraphina. That you never thought you'd see me again. Margaret, I'm sorry, I don't... Seraphina, I don't have time for this, Margaret. Caught, Margaret shifts. Margaret. What do you want? Seraphina. We're looking for Hélène. Margaret glances to Letitia, then back to Seraphina. Why are you asking me? Seraphina. Do you think we just let you walk away that day? Do you really think we just let you walk away that day? Margaret. The day you stole my memories? Seraphina. We've been keeping track of you. Margaret. Then you know I haven't seen her in decades. Why are you even asking me? That's redundant. We had her ask that before. I think just Sarah. No, because we had Bryn look off at the end of last scene. I think just having Seraphina be hesitant, reluctant. We lost her. Margaret. What? What does that even mean? Letitia. All those years ago when that friend of yours went looking for her, I cast a spell to keep anyone from locating her. Anyone but me. Margaret looks to Letitia, expectant. Letitia. Then yesterday, couldn't locate her. Margaret. Maybe she broke your spell. Letitia. Not my spell. What do you say? Smug? Overconfident? Look, I don't know where she is. You came all the way out here to tell me you don't know where she is either. Maybe it's better that way. Seraphina. She wouldn't just disappear like that. Seraphina nods. Letitia nears Margaret. Hate all the dust in the air. Sorry. Seraphina nods. Nearing Margaret. Seraphina nods. Nearing Margaret, Letitia grabs her arm. Margaret's eyes widen. Montage flashes. Okay. So we can say 1960s. Montage flashes. Under the midday sun, Nayeli on horseback nears Margaret, emerging from an orange grove. Their eyes meet, smiles sneak onto their faces. is a cluttered sentence, but I want it to be quick. Nayeli on horseback, nears Margaret, emerging. We don't need that comma, do we? Under the midday sun, Nayeli on horseback. Under the midday sun, Nayeli on horseback nears Margaret, emerging from an orange grove. Their eyes meet, smiles sneak onto their faces. Yeah. Nayeli is in her early 30s. Guatemalan with long curly brown hair, wears jeans, suede coat, and a cowboy hat. Morning, Margaret and Nayeli meander within a chicken run, scattering feed, but their eyes are locked on each other. Guess this would be... Dawn nears, Margaret and Nayeli meander within a chicken run, scattering feed. Their eyes are locked on each other. Stars shine in the night sky. Margaret sits by a bonfire. Next to her, Nayeli extends her blanket. Margaret shifts closer. Nayeli leans in, kisses Margaret. Stars pierce the night sky. Margaret sits on fire. Stars pierce the night sky. Margaret sits by a bonfire. Next to her, Nayeli extends a blanket. Margaret shifts closer. Nayeli lives in kisses Margaret. Yeah. 1963. Exterior, Margaret's ranch. Orange Grove, back to scene. Lurching away from Letitia's touch. Should we just say retreating? Retreating from Letitia's touch, Margaret glares at Seraphina. Letitia. Retreating from Letitia's touch, Margaret glares at Seraphina. Letitia. Margaret, you had no right. Seraphina. I had to be sure. Margaret, leave. Now. Seraphina starts back toward the car. Seraphina starts back toward the car. Letitia glances to Margaret. Yeah. Letitia. She's immortal. Don't have to be able to see the future to know how that plays out. Margaret. Told you to leave. Mariners! Hi, hello. How are things going? Margaret fumes. Letitia retreats to the car. Oh, that's why, because we have retreats there. All good things. How are we all? I am doing alright. It's Thursday. Naughty Dog's working on a scene for the prompt. Tomorrow's Friday, and so it's almost the weekend. Hooray! And I did see you streaming the other day, Mariners. I was only able to lurk, but I hope you're able to get some work done. So we want a verb here. Recoiling. That's what I want. Recoiling from Letitia's church, Margaret. Yeah. Mariners and I have a challenge to ourselves to write a scene using flash sideways instead of flashbacks and flash forwards to show different outcomes for situations. Interesting. Yeah, I have... We'll go off topic for a while. So... I have a screenplay that I wrote about a couple that's been together for a little bit, but they are older, and one of them has a health issue. And so the other one starts getting in their own head and kind of becoming obsessed with asking, like, what if we had met sooner in our lives? And so she starts contemplating all these possibilities of, like, what if we had met when we were in college? And, like, I show that visually in the piece, and then at the end I have them say, like, we could have met sooner, but we met when we did. We have to be okay with that and just enjoy the time we have. It's about kind of accepting you can't go back in time. And so, like, a lot of it was just, like, imagined past. And that was very difficult to convey, that what I was showing wasn't something that happened, but something that could have happened. And when I submitted it, the reader clearly didn't understand it, even though I was very specific in the end that we didn't meet those ways, we met this way, and then I showed how they actually met. But, yeah. Could have met sooner, but oh well. Turns off machine. That'd be a dark ending. Yeah, Major read this one. Yeah, I like that one. Yeah. Mariners with the 3-stream streak. Nice. But, yeah. All that to say, yeah, sometimes you come up with an idea that you need to kind of either create new terminology for or try to explain something that it's not easy to look up how to explain that because it's something common. So yeah, that kind of flash sideways, showing possibilities or showing something in someone's imagination and trying to like convey that clearly can be tough. But we're at the halfway point. So I think it is just about break time. So we are going to switch over to everyone's favorite, Major Beat Me to It. Words on stream! Huzzah! Y'all know how to play. Them's the rules. I'll be back shortly. 3, 2, 1, go. Alright, we got a third one in there because I was responding to some messages and stuff. But GG everyone, Major with the hard carry coming in with the gold. Naughty Dog putting in a lot of work with the silver. Mariners securing this bronze. That's what color that is. And I was there. I think you mean 6 more Mariners? Yeah, I decided to show up for a bit. I was sending messages. I have to click the thing. That. Okay. I have returned. We are getting back into writing and stuff. Okay, so we fixed that, so now we are back into our scene. Alright, Margaret tells Letitia leave. Margaret fumes, Letitia retreats to the car. I feel like we don't need that. Seraphina and Letitia. Might be able to combine those. Treating to the car. Unpaved like radiator springs in cars? Sure. I was just thinking, because we're in the 1960s in Arizona, so I'm thinking that their driveway might not. To go left, you have to turn right. Wise words. No, because they both don't retreat. You spilled Pokemon goldfish snacks in the shapes of Charmander all over my desk mat. Oh no. Charmander everywhere. Margaret fumes, Letitia retreats. Yeah, I just feel like... Four lefts is a circle. Okay. Margaret fumes, Letitia retreats. I feel like instead of Seraphina and Letitia, I can just say the car. Not even an understatement to say this is the undisputed best movie. What am I missing? It's a movie quote from one of my favorite Nick Cage films. Isn't that Paddington 2? I have no idea. I do not watch a lot of Nicolas Cage movies. Margaret fumes. Letitia retreats. The car departs down the unpaved road. Clip clop. Trapped in Paradise? Never seen it. I don't know that I've even heard of it. Sorry. Load. Trapped in Paradise. Nicolas Cage, John Lovitz, and Dana Carvey. I have no words. Okay, now that we look that one up. "50 speech is less." That is correct. So, it is funny. Last night I watched a movie, so it kind of reminded me of this. Watching movies when you don't know anything about them is really interesting. Because like everything on my watch list I got from like most of them I got from like greatest movies of all time list, top 250 movies list, 1,000 movies to see list, classic movies to watch list. And so like I'm expecting a lot of dramas, and a lot of them have been. Last night I started this movie, and like it caught me so off guard because it was from 1938, and it was like a slapstick comedy, and like I was just not expecting it, so it threw me off for the first like 10-15 minutes, and I was like, okay, I know what this movie is now. And then like it was had some funny stuff in it, but like it was an experience, we'll say. Every film I see, I have no idea about. Yeah, yeah. It is fun going into a movie knowing like absolutely nothing. Yeah, and just kind of like seeing how long it takes you to get on the film's wavelength and kind of figure out what it is. But yeah, it can be an experience for sure. Alright, clip clop. Hearing a horse near, Margaret turns to find Nayeli. Nayeli approaching, yeah. Hearing a horse near, Margaret turns to find Nayeli approaching. That's why I'm glad Harry Potter wasn't spoiled before I saw it. Well, not even just spoilers, but just like there are some movies I think are better like if you don't see a preview, if you have not read any reviews, if you know absolutely nothing about it. You just go in cold and watch it. Like there have been some really interesting experiences off of that. I have a feeling Naughty Dog might know this reference, but like if you could talk someone into going to see the movie Audition without telling them anything about the movie, I am so curious what that experience would be like. But if I have to explain any of that, then that might spoil it, so yeah. I'm just curious. Anyway. Naughty Dog, you spoiled it. Yes. See, but by saying it's a horror film, that spoils it because, like, the first half of it, it sets up like a rom-com. And then, like, halfway through, like, it takes a hard left turn. And it's like, wait, when the fuck did we get into this movie? And so, like, that's one of those movies that, like, I think film fans are always curious to get, like, non-film fans with. This is why we can't have nice things. I'm just messing with you. All the Charmanders have been consumed. Well done, Major. Glad you were able to clean them all up and give them a new home in your tummy. Yeah, but like that movie was spoiled for me kind of the same way because in whatever list I saw it, it listed it as a horror movie and it had like the image. If you know the movie, you know probably what I'm talking about of the woman later on in the film, and so like I was just sitting there like, am I watching the right movie? Like what? It says it's all dish like and so like it was very bizarre to watch, even knowing that going in because like I was like, I don't know if this is the right movie, and then it was the right movie. It was a great fake out. All right. Yeah, it's wild how like it starts one way and then just takes a hard left. Clip clop. Hearing a horse near, Margaret turns to find Nayeli approaching. Margaret's anger disappears. Nayeli dismounts. Nayeli. I checked the stretch of fence out by the old mine. Margaret. Any problems? Nayeli. Nothing I couldn't handle. Nayeli kisses Margaret. Noticing the basket of oranges, Nayeli grabs one out. Starts peeling it. Is the colon needed? Which one? Oh, the only one, I'm guessing. So, this is a formatting thing that I started doing. I'm not sure. Yeah, there's probably different ways of doing this. I think I found this somewhere else, so I started or I adopted it. But basically, like, I use that to indicate basically, like a shot, reverse shot. Anytime a character looks to something and I'm describing what they see. So, like, Margaret turns to find, so I imagine the camera shot is like, you hear, and then Margaret turns, and then the reverse shot is Nayeli approaching. So I always use the colon to indicate like a reveal or someone looking at something specific. So that's what I use it for. You like that? Really well described. Cool. I'm glad I was able to describe that well. I'm sure there are other ways to do it. I know in like when we were looking at the endgame script the other day, they did it slightly different. Yeah, so Ronan finishes him off. Kiko goes kill, Siren's Wail. Ronan removes his mask, revealing, and then they use a lot more ellipses, revealing, and then they go to the next line for the reveal. So that's another way of doing it. And then they also have, this is also kind of a shot, reverse shot. His face goes slack as, and then this would be the reverse. Natasha steps into a pool of light. So that's also like a reveal shot. So they do it by using ellipses rather than a colon. But for me, the colon's just, I just think it's a little cleaner. Anyway. Back to writing. Nayeli kisses Margaret. I feel like that can go on its own line. Noticing the basket of oranges, Nayeli grabs one out. Noticing the basket of oranges, Nayeli grabs one out, starts peeling it. Nayeli, you've been busy. Margaret, we can take them out to the market this weekend. Nayeli nods. I'm gonna shift this. Eating a slice of orange. I guess orange slice. Eating an orange slice. Eating an orange slice, Nayeli nods. Who is that driving away? Margaret. Shakes head. Someone I forgot existed. From another lifetime. Nayeli extends an orange slice to Margaret. Nayeli. Anything we have to worry about? Margaret. No. I left that life behind. Nayeli. Okay. Nayeli looks to Margaret. Curious. Nayeli looks to Margaret. Curious. But she doesn't. Pursue. I don't think we need her saying okay. Did you hear about some master copy of a film being lost by Netflix or something? What? No, I did not hear that. Is this a setup to a joke? Did I just walk into a joke? I've been known to do that. No, it's an actual thing that happened. See, that's surprising because, like, I assume all their films are just digital. Nicolas Cage movie? Netflix. Nicolas Cage. Oh, I'm guessing lawsuit? Swiss filmmaker Simon or Simon Afram and his production company filed a $105 million lawsuit against Netflix in July 2026. Complaint alleges that Netflix lost an unencrypted master hard drive of the unreleased World War II thriller Fortitude starring Nicolas Cage after it was stolen from the streamer's Hollywood office. Ugh. The funny thing is, like, that would probably make a more interesting movie than the movie they made. Like, I just want to know, like, who stole it? Like, what happened to this thing? Like, what do you do with a stolen movie that you have the only copy of? Like, yeah, you could release it online. I don't know, man. That's wild. But I mean, $105 million for Netflix is nothing, so whatever. That is kind of crazy. Pretty sure Naughty Dog mentioned seeing a World War II movie. He wouldn't say which one though. Alright, so we are up to 151. Exterior porch, Margaret's ranch. Night, 1963. Margaret sits in a rocking chair, gazing out at the star-filled sky, preoccupied. Watch Overlord, one of the best World War II horror films I've seen. I think that was on my watch list at one point, but I never got around to watching it. Because I remember when that movie came out. Exiting the house, blanket draped over her shoulders. Nayeli. Nears, Margaret. There's no A at the end. Yeah, Overlord is like the World War II zombie movie, if I remember right. It's got Wyatt Russell in it. Is that John Boyega? No. Oh, Billy Ray joint. Yeah, interesting. It's lots of Netflix, but hopefully one of them is the right one. Nick Cage pretty much does anything offered these days, so he owes the IRS. Yeah. In the house. No, we don't need that. You would get along well with Jimmy Carr. That's my job hunting strategy at this point. Oh no. Yeah. I got nothing. Fading fast tonight. Yeah. Have you heard back from the one place yet? Or are you still waiting? Say, sitting in a rocking chair, Margaret. Gaze is. Yeah, second interview yesterday, and they want to schedule for a final panel. Jeez. I mean, if nothing else, you're going to be like an expert interviewee by the time you find a job. All the interviews you've gone through and like callbacks and seconds and whatever a panel interview is. That's wild. Then I'll submit a blood sample, a urine panel, and maybe I'll get it. Jeez. Bruh, did you apply for a college? They take forever to finalize. Oh. Nayeli Nears. How are you not freezing out here? I don't feel like we need that. paste something in there. How are you not freezing out here? Margaret. I was waiting for you to warm me up. Margaret smiles. Nayeli sits on Margaret's lap, wrapping the blanket around them both. Should work as a food delivery truck taxi driver. I hear they're popular. I feel like every other car I see on the road out by me has like a Lyft, Uber sticker on them. Oh, that's... No, I need to revert that. Nayeli sits on Margaret's lap, wrapping the blanket around them. People order when it's a 5-minute walk and they are perfectly healthy. Yeah. Nayeli, you're lost in that head of yours again. Margaret. Can't seem to escape the past no matter how much I try. Nayeli, those two from earlier? Margaret nods, then looks to Nayeli. Margaret, what's past is past. There's no going back. Happy here, now, with you. Margaret kisses Nayeli. They both look out at the stars. Did you see the video of the Amazon drone delivery dropping the parcel in the woman's pool? No. No. Margaret kisses Nayeli. They both look out at the stars. Margaret, hesitant. There is something I have to tell you. Nayeli looks to Margaret, bracing. Margaret, I should have told you, I just didn't know how. Margaret meets Nayeli's eye. I'm a witch. Nayeli chuckles. Witch, like spells, potions, broomsticks? Yeah, that works. Could never get the hang of a broomstick. Not to mention they're not very practical. Nayeli evens out. You're serious? Don't need that. Margaret nods. BGW, ready to use docs for your planning. Yeah, so the outlines and notes and stuff, I have all of that in Google Docs in my drive. So I have... yeah, we have our folder for Fire in the Night, and then we have our folder for Captain Marvel 3, and then most everything's in one of those two, or for our top 10 lists. Yeah, that shows most viewed, but yeah, there's a cleaner look at my drive. I guess that can go in there. And then these are just kind of general stuff. I guess I should rename Project 2 to Project 3. But we have our writing prompts from way back when. There's apparently a thread going around which says how it uses AI. A lot of authors are switching. Haven't read it, but thought I'd let you know. Yeah, I feel like every site is injecting AI. I know with Twitch, I went in and turned off their ability, or them trying to use streamers' chats to train AI. AI scraping or something. Yeah. So I turned that off for my chat. Yeah, basically every time I see something with AI, I'm like, all right, how do I turn it off? Gemini, don't use by default. Gemini, don't use by default. Options, fuck off with that. I don't know what the thread exactly said, but I heard a few people on Twitch mention it. Yeah, I was in live stream for a bit last night before, whenever it was, and she was talking about why she uses Microsoft Word, and one of the things was kind of keeping it. Oh yeah, you said on live stream yesterday, eventually you need to turn AI settings off when you buy a pen. Yeah. Yeah, she was talking about why she used Microsoft Word over Google Docs, and that was one of the reasons I think she kind of talked about a little bit. So, yup. Yeah, and I know Writer Duet has some AI stuff, but I never use it. One of them is, yeah, the AI proofreading. I don't use that. I just want to make sure all my words are spelled correctly and I don't have any like glaring grammatical mistakes. That's all I want from my spell checker. The rest of the stuff we want human people doing, not fake people that aren't people. Which is fun. Grammar is the only thing you're good at. Yeah. I was gonna say, it's funny because, like, two of the other projects I'm working on at the moment are both about people falling in love with artificial beings. But right now, I'm just like, fuck AI. Might as well put it to work in The Sims to read at that point. Yeah. Yeah. Alright, Margaret. I can never get the hang of a broomstick, not to mention they're not very practical. Nayeli, you're serious, Margaret. Nods. Those two women who stopped by earlier, they're witches too. That's how I knew them. Wait, so how does that... What can you... Have you ever... Margaret, I'm a green witch. I have a deep connection to nature, natural world, but I don't use my magic unless I have to. Nayeli, why not? If I could cast spells, I'd be using it all the time. Margaret, hunters. They've been around. I need to change this. Been around. Been around for centuries. They can track magic, so using it is like Nayeli putting a target on your back. Somber, Margaret nods. Margaret, like I said, it's not a life I want to go back to. Nayeli, well, Thank you for telling me. It doesn't change anything. Random thought, if your main character's a rapper, would their name be MCMC? It could be. Thank you for telling me. Don't worry, this doesn't change anything between us. No, it would be MCACDC. Exactly. Batats. Margaret. It will. One thing they never get right about witches is our magic keeps us from aging. Nayeli. So how old are you? Margaret. I don't know exactly, but somewhere around 1400? Nayeli. 14? So you were alive before America was a country. Margaret. I was alive before England was a country. Bottoms. Yeah, I butchered that. It's fine. So 1400 years old for Margaret. Yeah, I think that's fine. Grave, Nayeli realizes. You'll be alive long after I've... Margaret. That's one of the reasons I wanted to tell you. That's one of the reasons why I wanted to tell you, so you know, in case... Nayeli, you're not getting rid of me if that's what you're worried about. Yeah, I want to change that. To just, I'm not going anywhere. Grateful, Margaret kisses Nayeli. That would be the main character if it was an electrician. Okay, so we're still in 1963 here. I know we jump ahead at some point. 1963. 4 numbers, that's all we need. Oh my god. Major. You get a dad joke for that one, Major. Oh yeah. No, it's not a good thing. I'm just messing. Alright. Interior kitchen, Margaret's Ranch day. Friend of mine had an uncle who was an electrician. He told me how the last words he said to my friend are on his gravestone. No, not the red one. Interior kitchen, Margaret's house, day 1963. Margaret sits at a table. Margaret sits at a table. Nayeli nears, carrying a steaming pot of pipillon. Places it on the table. Come on. Nearing. Nearing Nayeli places a steaming pot of pepillon on the table. There we go. Sits at their dining table. Yeah. Margaret sits at their dining table. Nearing, Nayeli places a steaming pot of pepillon on the table. Yeah, I have table twice. I don't like that. Why don't they eat bangers and mash? Because they're more civilized than that, Merritt. No, I'm just fucking with you. I don't know. Oh, no, you're fine. I think, yeah, clarifying the dining table. And an uncle who was wounded in Vietnam asked me if he was shot in the army. He said no, he was shot in the leg. Margaret sits at their dining table, nearing. Nayeli plays a steaming pot of pepillon. Off topic, but Vietnam looks like it would be so cool to travel to. Food looks incredible. Nearing, Nayeli sets a steaming pot of pepillon. Yeah, that's what I'm thinking. Something like that. Heard China is awesome to visit, but some cities apparently have really bad pollution. Yeah. So I think we almost go. Nayeli places a steaming pot of pepillon on the table. Like, can't even see the sun pollution. I believe it. Yeah, they have a lot less regulation about that. Also, potential raid benefactor author Christy, Moog, Turtles and Chill. Alright. Unless someone else redeems pick the raid, we will go with one of those. Okay, that's... Took me a minute, but I think I got there. So... Nearing Margaret. Sitting at their dining table. Nayeli places a steaming pot of... Nah. Now that I weirded out Naughty Dog with the otters, time for turtles. I believe it's Naughty Dog subathon starting in about 3 minutes. Hell yeah, 72-hour ghost stream with Mariners. Y'all enjoy that. I will be lurking. Alright, I think this is better? Question mark? Nearing Margaret, sitting at their dining table, Nayeli places a steaming pot of Papillon between them. Lurking? You're a special guest. It's gonna be a sleep stream for me then. So, do with that as you will. Yeah, we'll come back to this next time. See if that still works next week. Yeah, that is going to be where we call it for tonight. Because it is quitting time. We're up to page 98. We got 18 more pages to get through this draft, so we're getting close. But we will pick it up next time. I'm going to disappear and figure out who we are going to raid. I will probably lurk. Yeah, I feel like we haven't gone over Author Christie in a minute, so we'll go over there. Alright, we got the raid set up. We'll go over there. See how they're doing. Yeah, I will be back on Sunday. We will be picking up with Captain Marvel 3, and there will be a dinosaur appearance. So we got that to look forward to. I will be on Unistream tomorrow night for the last part of my sci-fi video game thing, if anyone is around and wants to hang out for that. Yeah, and then we will be back on Tuesday for more editing of our other story, this one. So yeah, that's the plan for the next couple days. I hope everyone has a great end to their week, great start of their weekend. Thank you everyone who stopped by, hung out, lurked, chatted. Thank you to our new followers, and yeah, I hope to see you all next time.
Thanks for checking out my channel. Do whatever you want, live your life. I hope you're happy in your body. Much love to you, and see you around.